Yo, what's going on guys? I hope you're all having a fantastic day. If you're new here, my name is Tech and welcome back to another Dragon Ball video. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to address something really quick that some of you may or may not already know about, but I really try to be as straightforward as possible with you guys, so this is probably something that needed to be put in a video to begin with. So I'm sure most of you have noticed the decline in fan manga content on my channel, and there's a few reasons for that really. One of the reasons is because it takes a lot less time to review a manga than it does to make it, so guys like me are able to put out these videos a lot faster than the authors can update the manga. Another huge reason, and this is kind of the big one, is that Shueisha is kind of cracking down on the fan manga animations and illustrations online. Now, I personally don't really know all of the legal ins and outs of how Japan is handling this, but what I do know is that they are actively trying to shut down sources of fan manga, so for that reason as well, I've been trying to cut back a little bit. Now, all this really means is that there won't be as much fan manga on the channel, even though I'll still be doing it whenever possible, so not much will really change. We're still going to be following all things Dragon Ball, and that includes gaming, news, fan manga, and pretty much anything else, but that's about as far as that goes, and without further ado, let's get started with the video.
I got swords on my back, time my ride back. Ninjas with me, niggas, going stars at these bitches. Eating ramen noodles in the hood with my niggas.
So with Dragon Ball fan manga being a little more difficult to keep up, it has been harder to come around, and some of the older stories that I was doing in the past I just can't find anymore. However, with that being said, there is one ongoing story that I think you guys would be excited to come back to. First, let me start by saying yes, one of my favorite characters in the entire series is obviously Vegeta. I genuinely think that in a battle anime not really as focused around the depth as some other anime, Vegeta has had some of the best character development in the entire show. One thing I've always wanted to know more about though was Vegeta's childhood. Being royalty his entire life, Vegeta was also a prodigy and was surely leading his own squadron at a young age. We even got a brief introduction to his brother Tarble in Dragon Ball Super, but what about the rest of his childhood? This is Dragon Ball New Age, or more specifically the remastered version of Malik's Dragon Ball New Age, and when we last left off, two Saiyans have just made their arrival on Earth. With Goku off in the multiverse somewhere, Vegeta is the best defense the Earth has for the time being, but with this new Saiyan's powers and his full past being unknown, there's no telling how a remastery of this story could turn out. As Vegeta stands outside of Capsule Corp, he's now face to face with the two Saiyans that landed outside of the city. The Saiyan, who goes by the name of Rigor, says that when he heard of the destruction of planet Vegeta, he feared that the prince had perished along with the rest of the Saiyan race as well, but he says deep down, he knew that Vegeta had survived, and now, it seems that destiny has crossed their paths. Vegeta interrupts before the guy can go on any further, saying that they haven't even made their acquaintance yet. The female says that it seems Vegeta doesn't remember him, but Rigor says that he could never forget the prince, and it seems Vegeta has a major debt to pay. Vegeta roars that he doesn't know anything about a debt or even who these two guys are, but this is when the invader decides to spark his memory a little and asks if he remembers Planet Palm. This is when it slowly starts to come back to Vegeta, as he seems to remember the name of such a planet. His opponent says that it was here where Vegeta led a squadron on a mission and a single child stood up to him that night. The one time where a subordinate of the prince actually struck him. And then it clicks. Vegeta has a flashback to dozens of years ago on this planet, and he remembers such a child from his squad that did stand up to him, but unfortunately, that child was no match for a prodigy like Vegeta back then, especially being as cold-hearted as he once was. Even though Vegeta does remember this event, he finds it hard to believe that this guy came all the way out here to settle a small fight from all of those years ago, but as he should well know, a Saiyan's pride runs deep, as his opponent says that yes, that is part of it, but Vegeta also has a life debt and he will pay it dearly. Vegeta remarks that he has literally no idea what debt this guy is talking about, which clearly angers his opponent, but this is when he takes notice of Bulma and Bra standing at the entrance to Capsule Corp, watching this whole exchange take place. He asks if that's his family, and then he prepares to blast them, as he says maybe this will jog Vegeta's memory a bit. Of course, Vegeta flies in front of the attack to defend his family, which actually surprises his opponents, as he says Vegeta protecting others? How unlike him. Vegeta says that there is a deserted area not far from here, so whatever this is about, they can settle it there, away from innocent people. And the next thing we see is the three Saiyans heading to the site of their final battle. A few moments later, the site of their destination becomes visible as Vegeta says that this should be far enough. As they land, Vegeta requests to know the names of these two Saiyans before they start the battle, as the only thing he remembers this guy as is the black-tailed Saiyan. This seems to shock the two more than anything as they recall back to that same night he had mentioned prior, as we see the black-tailed Saiyan pleading with the young Vegeta that even though this is his first mission with this new squad, he should at least try to learn the names of his new squad mates, to which Vegeta replies, why should he? The male Saiyan, as we already know, addresses himself as Raigor, and the woman next to him is his wife Sapari. And now that introductions are out of the way, the two prepare to begin their battle. Vegeta begins by saying before they start, he should warn Raigor that he's much stronger than their last encounter, to which Raigor replies that the last time they met, Vegeta defeated nothing more than an unskilled child, and tells Vegeta to hold nothing back in this battle because when he's crushed, Raigor wants Vegeta to know that there was absolutely nothing he could have done to survive. However, Vegeta has never been the type to insist on holding back, as he says that this is a request that Raigor will soon regret. Vegeta takes this opportunity to tap into his full power as we see him go straight to Super Saiyan 4, something that he learned to better control in this short period between the Shadow Dragons and now, which seems to take his opponents off guard, but it could simply have been the drastic change in appearance. Once Vegeta has finished taking on his form, Raigor simply replies with, "Is that your best?" as he begins to prepare a transformation as well. He asks Sapari what Vegeta's energy reading is, to which she replies with an astounding 20 million units, which definitely sounds like a huge number to us, but Raigor says that his next transformation should be more than enough to deal with this. And then, he begins to power up as his energy swells and his body begins to transform. The faces of Vegeta and Piccolo, who is watching from the lookout, say it all. Raigor explodes with power, bringing the entire earth to a tremble, and in a flash of bright light, we bear witness to something not yet seen before in this timeline. This is the true, perfect Super Saiyan, Raigor.